I need an example game. All right, let's not like get Citadel here. Yeah. Shoot me. Don't kill me though. Please. Sir, don't kill me. You need to hit me though. Drift it. Drift me. Wait, he's holding. He's smart. Aha! We live those.
Problem solved.
I didn't kill him. Whoops. Oh, yeah! I mean, we definitely lived there because of the commander. Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we're taking a look at the new special commander for the Commonwealth ships. This guy is going to be available with update 15.0, John Augustine Collins, and he's got two special talents. One of them is a bit like Kuznetsov heal, which is one of the most busted commander skills in the entire game, which gives you a heal on 10% HP. As a reminder, Kuznetsov is going to give you back a little over 5% of your HP in 15 seconds, as well as a damage control, as well as making dispersion worse for enemies shooting at you. Collins does not bring those other benefits. It is just a heal, but it is a very good heal. It's going to give you double the HP in 1/3 of the time, and that is really important because on 10% HP, at least in a Vampire 2 here, you're going to be at 2400 health. You can get burst through that pretty easily. Even cruisers and some of the battleships that are available in the Commonwealth line, you can get burst down through that 10% HP. One of the things that makes Kuznetsov so powerful is that the Soviet ships just are very, very tanky. A lot of the Commonwealth ships are a little bit squishier. I think things like Brisbane is a little squishier than something like Petro, for example. It's a very, very good talent, and it's very important that it gives you that HP back a lot sooner. The snail torps are actually going to get us that kill, which is crazy. Had to include that. We're playing Vampire 2 to start with, because my main complaint with Vampire 2, of course, is that it doesn't have the heal like Daring does. You get a little more DPM, you get a little better concealment. In my opinion, a little bit worse smokes, less flexible smokes, I guess is a good way of putting it. But now you get a heal, and 10% HP conveniently is one Daring heal. Daring can get 2 heals base, up to 3 with Superintendent, which means Daring only has a 2 heal advantage over Vampire 2 now. Assuming, you know, you actually get this heal off and don't get one shot through that 10% threshold. It doesn't make up completely for the lack of heal, but it is certainly something. I also should mention the other talent here. It's a little bit less impactful in my opinion, but it is still quite interesting. After you deal 60,000 HP of damage, you're going to get a 2% buff to your speed and 5% longer consumable duration. And that you can stack up to 3 times. So on 180k HP, you're going to get a little bit over a 6% buff to your speed and a little bit over a 15% buff to your consumable duration, which is pretty interesting. Now, let's talk about this damage threshold, though, because I think this being able to live on low HP is probably the most important part of this commander. I was trying to force some engagements through with this, taking battleship salvos. It's a good way to burst through that threshold and not get access to that heal. I should not be doing this, but we're going to try and rush a Bourgogne anyway. Vampire 2 has the smoke hydro gimmick, if you didn't know. It's very, very powerful when you can get that working. But let's see this heal in action, and that I think Kuznetsov would not have let us survive this engagement in particular. We're going to eat like 10,000 damage from the Bourgogne, live on 838 HP, immediately tick up to 1,400, and then his secondaries are going to hit us back down to like 700 HP, something like that. We barely survive this. Each tick is around 550 to 600 HP back. That's a lot. And it's important that we got it back so quickly. Otherwise, I think those secondaries probably would have done us in. We might have traded Azuma, probably would have taken him out anyway. But instead, we do survive. So that is an advantage over the Kuznetsov heal proc. I still think having that worst dispersion incoming fire is a big deal. 20% worst dispersion is a lot, as well as having a damage control. Sometimes it's that fire ticking on you that you need to get rid of, and that's what Kuznetsov provides. So that's not here. But it's a very, very powerful talent, and I'm kind of nitpicking here, to be honest with you. The fact that he's even compared it all to, in my opinion, one of the strongest upgrades possible on these special commanders, is a good sign if you want to get this guy for your Commonwealth ships. And maybe a good example of why consumable duration is a little less important, I would rather be consumable reload, is that, well, these smokes take forever to come back, and we didn't have a smoke available to deal with the incoming bombs from that Hildebrand. I also grounded, played it badly, okay? But it would have been nice to have the daring bursting smokes to prevent that from potentially happening. Still a very good game in Vampire 2, so I was pretty happy with that one. Let's move on to a Cerberus. I also have a Yukon game for you as well. But let's talk about how you can get this guy. It's a 60 puzzle piece collection. We've seen this before with these special commanders. Wargaming, a bit of feedback if you're watching. Please just bring back campaigns. It's a way simpler, way better, more player-friendly way to do it. Campaigns tab, please bring them back like that. It's so much more interesting than random loot box drops and puzzle pieces. You get to play the game to grind towards your special commander. I think that is so cool. Maybe even tie it to the nation. I think that's way better. As well as maybe bring dockyards in that campaign tab too. There's a lot of improvements, Wargaming, you can make to the game, please. Anyways, this is going to be available for just this next update, as far as I can tell. You also have the option to get some of these containers, which contain these puzzle pieces, for research points and elite XP. That's in limited numbers though, so it won't be enough to actually complete it, unfortunately. And those will be available for 4 weeks. You also have the option, of course, to buy the premium version of the containers, and those will be available for 5 weeks, so a little bit longer if you want to buy them out at the end. And while Wargaming have said it will be available for free, you can get Collins completely for free just by playing the game. In bolded letters, I actually have, this will require high activity and really good performance from players. So I would take that to mean it's going to be rather challenging. The way you get more of these collection pieces for free is by participating in some leaderboard events. We've seen those in the past. I'm not sure how difficult it will be. I'm not sure how many winners there will be, but there will be 4 leaderboards total that you can participate in, and whoever places well enough will get enough of these containers, in theory, to actually complete this collection. Maybe if you get really unlucky with duplicates, you might still not complete it. I don't know. I'm actually recording this the day before the patch drops. I'm not entirely sure on how hard it will be or how random it will be yet. But I would assume, based on the wording going into this, that it's not going to be very easy. Worth noting that other special commanders have come back in the past that have been available for these collections. Lisboa is a recent example where you can just buy the containers that contain those puzzle pieces for free with coal. You can do that, of course, with Sansonetti on the Italian line. The better way to do it, of course, is with the campaigns where you can get Halsey as well as Yamamoto. Crucially, though, we have not seen Conrad come back. That's the special commander for the Dutch ships. And that one's been gone for a long time. I hate to do this FOMO thing, but I would assume Wargaming is not going to bring this guy Collins back anytime soon. It sucks. I really don't like it. My feedback, as always, is going to be that these FOMO one-time events are just never as good as everyone getting access to this content. Like I said, bring it back in the form of campaigns. I think that is way more interesting. Cerberus here, maybe not the best example of this special commander, perhaps for the increased duration of the consumables, allowing you to farm for a little bit longer with these smokes that you can crawl around with. But we did end up living, at least for now, thanks to that buff. And Petro, with Kuznetsov, actually just died there to that Iwami Torp. Even with Kuznetsov, you can just get burst through that healing, even in some very tanky ships. And as we all know, Commonwealth high tier is not the tankiest of ships. You have things like Irresistible, which unfortunately I did not get to test it. I haven't bought that on my main account yet. Not particularly interested in the HE spam battleship role like that, but let me know in the comments if you want me to test that. I certainly can do that for you. Brisbane is an option here too. Cerberus, as we're playing now. Vampire 2, we have at tier 9, things like Encounter and Hector. The only ship that does not have a heal out of all those is Vampire 2. That's why it's especially impactful there. And we have a lot of super healing too. Think about Minotaur Hull, Brisbane, for example. And honestly, even Cerberus and its gigantic citadel. It's going to be pretty hard to make use of the 10% HP threshold you have to get to while not getting dev struck through that and just going back to port, right? I don't think that's going to be particularly easy. A lot of the time, you probably should just be healing with your regular super heal instead of trying to optimize that damage, 10% damage threshold, certainly in a ship as vulnerable as Brisbane. So how impactful this will be, I am not quite sure yet. Also worth mentioning, Adrenaline Rush is the buffed commander skill. That's just standard commander skills like we see. It's usually 0.2%, where here we get 0.25%. So a small buff there. We see that, I think, on one of the French commanders. I don't know if that's a special commander or just the slightly improved commanders. But it's a nice AR bump, so a little bit more DPM on some of your Commonwealth ships. It's something Vampire 2 certainly excels at. Cerberus, also very high DPM on that ship for 203s. Brisbane could use the help, perhaps. You know, it's a solid commander. It's obviously better than the standard commanders, as always with these things. But that heal is going to be hard to use. The extra HP, as well as the consumable duration of situational value. I don't think this is necessarily as game-breaking or as meta-defining as like the Lisboa commander is for the Pan-American ships, or like Conrad can be for the airstrike ships, that kind of thing. It's still a very good commander. A commander with a heal on 10% HP is very, very good. It can't be bad, obviously. But whether it's worth FOMO grinding like crazy these leaderboards to get right away, I'm not sure. There's not too many ships available for Commonwealth line either. Yukon is one of the battleship versions. Tried it out here, as well as a couple more games. And we got one shot through that threshold. So no extra value for us. Just trying a full DPM build here. Not going secondaries, but just for the close quarters combat reload buff here. Because we have that safety net of an extra heal when we get down to that 10% HP. But a lot of the time, you're just going to get one shot through that. 6,000 HP is the threshold here with Yukon. That's not a lot for this battleship. Very vulnerable to overmatch here at tier 7, as well as torpedoes. If you're getting torp rushed by a Farragut, probably would be a good idea to heal up. That way, if you eat a few torps, you're not going to die. And now look at me. I'm probably overplaying, downplaying the ability that this commander has. Collins is very good. This heal is very good. It's just objectively better than all of the other Commonwealth commanders. So it's very good, very worthwhile to get, but I don't want to participate too much into adding on to all the FOMO events, right? This is an opportunity to see something new, but maybe not feel the need to force yourself to grind it out always. There's always going to be new events, right? And this commander should come back. I haven't actually had any confirmation from that from Wargaming, but given the past experience with these special commanders, it'll take a while, maybe a year for them to come back. Something like that feels right, at least based on vibes. This is not me looking at the historical evidence. It's just seems like around a year is when they have that early period where you could get the crates, and then they take it away for a little bit. I'm not sure about that. I hope that they bring it back sooner. I'm really not a fan of these FOMO style events as always, but this is what they've decided to do with this special commander. And actually a ship that I didn't end up getting time to play with was actually Haida, one of my personal favorites in the Commonwealth lines. Tier 7 DD with absurd concealment, but lacking a heal. It kind of runs through tier 7 rank seasons. That conceal with the gun power is absolutely wild for map control, cap contests, that kind of thing. It is so powerful. And the prospect of having a heal on that ship at 10% in those ranked modes to clutch out some games is really, really good. Here we're going to use this fire to get down below that HP threshold and then pair it with the super heal, which, to be honest with you, I probably was just better off healing because it was available. But there it is. We did the gimmick. Super heal plus the Collins heal buff as well. This is a great tactic to use anytime you have these special commanders with a heal on 10% HP. Kuznetsov certainly always was trying to save a heal, if possible, to pair with that Kuznetsov heal. Because again, you get burst down through that heal sometimes, and being able to pair that with a super heal or even just a standard heal makes it a little less likely you get burst down through that and you can survive. Doesn't always work out that way, of course, and with Commonwealth ships being a lot squishier than Soviet ships, may not be worth waiting that long anyway, but it is a tactic you can use to get a little more value or a little more security when you do go down to that 10% HP threshold. So a very powerful new commander added without a new Commonwealth line. That's kind of interesting. Usually we see these new commanders added alongside a line, or at least in very close proximity, I would say. Maybe it's not required, but at least that seems like what has been a recent trend. Here's the flag that gets added when you are running Collins on one of these Commonwealth ships. And as for that special commander traits, yeah, the Adrenaline Rush buff is quite nice. Extra DPM is pretty cool to have on already some pretty high DPM ships. Here's this buff to our consumables as well as our ship's speed. Instead of the action, oh man, imagine this was consumable reload time. That'd be so valuable because that's the main problem with a lot of these Commonwealth ships and their consumables. They just take forever to come back. There are powerful consumables though, so maybe having them for extra time is also worthwhile. The extra speed is pretty cool too, especially on Vampire 2 with the engine boost as well. Built-in acceleration like Daring plus engine boost plus a little bit of more speed. That's pretty cool. And yes, 2% HP per second for 5 seconds. I think it's really important to talk about it in regards to the speed at which you get that HP back. When you're using this commander, Collins, on a destroyer or light cruisers, that kind of thing, Kuznetsov, you're not always getting that healing. It's sometimes you just get destroyed through that heal that Kuznetsov gives you on some of these Soviet destroyers or their light cruisers. Here, though, you're probably getting through that. Certainly, I would think in DD fights, this will give you that full HP value back. Within 5 seconds, that's 2 or 3 salvos from a lot of the higher DPM destroyers. So that you should be able to survive through that, at least to get the full HP from that heal. Maybe not survive at the end, but you should get that full 10% heal, I think. It's an interesting commander to have, certainly, and worthwhile to get. We'll see how tough that grind is for those leaderboards. I'm a little worried. This is a new style of getting some of these containers and collections, so I'm not sure how it's going to go. In the past, it has been rather grindy, and I would expect that to be the same here. But let me know what you think in the comments down below about the new Special Commander Collins. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.